smell something. And it smelled kind of strange. Do you smell that too? I smell spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. It's your boy Fatal J. I'm gonna be quick and painless with this one. I'm gonna hit the points where it really hurt, made you excited, sad, whatever. This is the Avengers Endgame spoilers. Let's get to it. Hey, this movie was incredible. And it first opens up with 3 weeks after the Infinity War fiasco. Things is looking bad for Starks and Nebula up in space. But my boy look in the sky. He see a wonderful light. A bright light. He wasn't dying. He just seen Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel came in to save the day. One thing I can say about Captain Marvel in this movie, she played her role. And I think the writers must have been listening. They had to have been listening. Because every time she showed up, she wasn't a savior, but she played key roles. Thank you, Marvel. You did an awesome job. When they get back to Earth, Captain Marvel told the Avengers, because the Avengers was just chilling. They all depressed, all up in the headquarters. But Captain Marvel kind of put that pep up on them, and she told them, she said, let's go find him. So they tracked him down to an uninhabited planet. Thanos is looking bad. All burnt up, all weak. Avengers said, freak it, let's get this mother freaker. Man, they started fighting him, putting him in headlocks. But this is what really tripped me out. Thor was like, freak this mother freaker. Took that axe and cut his head clean off. I said, you know what? Marvel finna start taking risks in this movie. I knew it. So the deed was done because Thanos told them the stones, I did one more snap and destroyed the stones, so the deed is done. So it was pretty much over, seemed like, okay? Fast forward 5 years later. Scott Lang, Ant-Man, came out the quantum realm, went and found the Avengers, okay? The Avengers slowly getting their lives back together. He told them, hey, we can manipulate the quantum realm. We can use it to go back in time. Use it to go back in time to get the Infinity Stones. Everybody was down with it except for Starks. Starks still in his depressive mode, feel bad, feel horrible. And I can understand that. Because if you fighting with all your fight and the world still lose half of the population, you gonna feel bad too. Okay? So, once they start testing it out, they said we need some brains for this. Okay? Tony Stark is out. Bruce Banner is in. What I loved about Bruce Banner, we didn't get no Hulk in Infinity Wars. We got all Hulk in this movie. Okay, get it out your mind that we have a savage beast. Bruce Banner mastered that. We got an intellectual Hulk. And I love that Hulk. You know, we got a little bit of that Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. We get all of that Hulk in this movie. He was one of my favorite characters, and Banner played a key role too. Okay? So, once they mastered the quantum realm, they went back in time. Okay? They split themselves up in different teams. I'm not going to focus on all that because I'm trying to get through this quick so you can get a brief summary of how sick this movie is. Okay? I will focus on one of the teams. One of the teams went back to when Thanos killed Gamora. See, they all went to different spots in different movies. Okay? Some of the teams went to the Avengers first movie. They went to that scene. Some of them went to Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. And I love how they did that. They paid respect to all the 10 years, 11 years that Marvel built this big old Marvel cinematic empire. But I'm supposed to focus on Hawkeye and Black Widow. These two characters impressed me so much. Hawkeye, Hawkeye really stepped it up in this movie. I told y'all I love the characters who have no powers. Hawkeye pushed it to the limit. He was ruthless, lost his family. He gave it his all. So when they was on this planet with Red Skull, you know you had to sacrifice yourself for the Soul Stone. So Black Widow and Hawkeye, they talking. Who gonna do it? Then they start fighting to see who gonna jump off that cliff. Black Widow bit that bullet. She died. I said, this the second time they gonna take risks. Let's get it, Marvel. Let's get it. After that, I was hurt. That's probably why we ain't gonna get a Black Widow movie either. It's probably not. It's probably out of there. You know. I don't know if Scarlett Johansson signed that contract anyway. But once the teams got the Infinity Stones, each team got them. The next step was to make a gauntlet. Thor and Bruce Banner made the gauntlet. Then they started deciding who gonna do the snap. You know, a mortal man cannot put on that gauntlet. He'll be done. They can't hold that power. We learned that in Guardians of the Galaxy. So, after Thor bickered with Bruce Banner and all the teams were trying to decide who gonna put it on, Bruce Banner won it. Bruce Banner snapped, body all tore up. We seen that it might have worked because we saw birds coming on the trees, and then we saw Hawkeye wife call him on the phone. He picked up, heard her voice. We thinking, okay, it worked. Now, fast forward to the ending battle. Thanos. The Thanos of the past, when they went into the time stone, Thanos is clever. He figured out the Avengers' plans to get the time stones through Nebula. You had a future Nebula, a past Nebula. He figured out through Nebula, through her mechanics and all that. You know, she got that hologram stuff, and you can see her memories. So, he went to the spot where the Avengers was at, his past self. Because he got some of the quantum juice from Scott Lang. Okay? Well, he didn't get it from Scott Lang. Scott Lang gave it to Nebula. So he showed up in the future. That's when the big battle went on. This was the part that made the movie theater just lose their ish. Captain America, while they were battling, it was Starks, Captain America, and Thor. Thor and Iron Man, they got out the way. They got beat down. Captain America was the last man standing, fighting Thanos hard. Thanos started beating him down to the point where he cracked up the shield. All of a sudden, Thor's hammer came, and guess who picked it up? Our boy Cap. When we saw that, the crowd went wow. That was one of the most beautiful things I seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's speak on Thor real quick. Thor got real fat, had a beard, long hair in this movie. He got depressed, was a heavy alcoholic. A lot of people didn't like that. I can understand that. Because in the first movie, Thor was the person that had a chance to kill Thanos on the spot. So I can understand that, and I liked it. He kind of reminds you of the Big Lebowski movie. And you know how Starks is with his little quick one-liners. He got him. He said, okay, Lebowski. People who seen the Big Lebowski understood that joke. Now, things was looking bad. Thanos brought his whole army out to fight the Avengers. It wasn't enough Avengers to fight him. All of a sudden, you see them big spears, them circular firework spears from Doctor Strange, and everybody knew then in the movie theater, it's on. Let me tell you something. When I seen that, I felt something wet coming down my cheek on both sides. Before I knew it, it started falling even harder. Your boy was sitting up there tearing up, man. That was the most touching incredible thing I ever seen in a movie. All them dead characters from Infinity Wars came back. And please, I beg of you, go to the movie theaters and witness that in the theater, man. It ain't nothing like it. Let's fast forward some more. So we winning. The Avengers is beating them down. It come down to a fight between Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel hit with the ships. She blew up Thanos' ships because Thanos' ships was shooting at something in the sky. It was your girl, Captain Marvel. She blew up Thanos' ship. Then she started fighting with my boy Thanos. She was fighting hard with him. He almost hit the snap. Somehow he got the Infinity Glove. He almost hit the snap. Right before he snapped, she pried his fingers apart. But he beat her down. Then it was down to two people, and you would never believe who it was. It was between your boy Starks and Thanos. Thanos and Iron Man going at it. Iron Man, Tony Stark's going out on his shield. Thanos came out on top. Hit the snap. Wasn't no stones in the gauntlet. Guess who had all the stones? Our boy Stark. Stark hit that snap and killed Thanos and his whole army. And it reminded me of the Avengers first movie when Tony saved the day, when he put that bomb up into space. My boy saved the day. But when he snapped them fingers, you forget my boy is mortal. My boy died. I felt them tears come again. Never happened to me in the movie before where tears is coming down my face. It was over for my boy Stark. Stark is gone. I told y'all in earlier videos, you can go back and watch it. They killed off Stark. I know why. Because of the money situation. Robert Downey Jr. getting a little expensive. I didn't know they were going to take a risk that hard. They had a funeral for him. And there's one thing in the funeral that threw me off. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but it was a guy in the background, just a kid by himself. You know, it was right before we get to Captain Marvel and before we get to Nick Fury, it was a boy by himself. Who is that kid? And somebody let me know in the comment section. Because I don't know, my friend told me this. Phillips, what's up? My friend Jamie Phillips told me that could be the new Iron Man. He said they not through with Iron Man. All them people that we saw at that funeral scene, I feel like that's the new MCU. This is the ending of the movie. It was time for Cap to put the stones back. He was going to put the stones back to wherever they needed to go back in the past. And he was going to put Thor's hammer up wherever it needed to go. Okay? Cap sent everything back. But he decided to stay in the past. We didn't know what happened. At first, I thought he was trapped in the quantum realm. But it showed a smaller figure in the background. Falcon walked up to him. It was Cap. But Cap looked like he was 80, 90, maybe even 100. He had spent himself in the past with Carter, Agent Carter. He was done being Captain America. It was so touching and a good send-off. And you can tell how I don't calm down in this video. And he gave the shield to Falcon. Now, this is my thing. Falcon, I'm just going to be honest with you, he a whack character. I felt he should have gave it to Bucky. But the ending was still so touching. Because he handed off the shield. He not Captain America no more, man. And I know the contract is up, but I just didn't know they were going to take risks like this in this movie. So, you're going to ask me, Mr. Fatal J, what do you give this film? What do you give this film? I give this film a mother loving plus. Yes, it had flaws like any other movie, but it took risks. It built up the characters, and it paid off in the end. This movie was long, but guess what? I didn't pee at all. My brain put my bladder in the check and said, you ain't going nowhere. And that's it from your boy Fatal J. I'm out of here. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite scene in the movie. Peace out.